We are seeing them more and more, drones watching down from the sky, and with few regulations about where they can and cannot go, drones raise privacy concerns, even when they belong to law enforcement. NBC5's Dallas Barr tells us how neighbors in Hurst are pushing back after a police drone hovered over one backyard without warning.
In the privacy of our own homes, that's exactly what we expect, privacy. But for Bobby Sanchez, that feeling disappeared with these words.
Mommy, there's a drone over our roof.
This is what she saw. It hovered overhead long enough for Bobby to snap pictures and call for help.
You know, where's this coming from? Who is this? They're watching my children play in the backyard. I called the Hurst Police Department and was pretty surprised to hear that it was them.
Hurst police and fire started using drones around the beginning of the year. The day they found Bobby's yard, they say, was a training exercise.
On a typical day, about 2,500 feet.
The police department is already making changes. Any officer using the drone will now need high-level approval.
We will not be doing any type of training exercise over houses and things like that.
Going forward, Hurst police plan to only launch these if they need it to map an accident scene or a crime scene, if they're looking for something like an active shooter or a missing person. The fire department can also use them to strategize when they're fighting fires.
We're working for our citizens. If they have concerns, so we definitely need to address it.
It's just really surreal.
But for Bobby and some of her neighbors, trust is already damaged.
It might be legal, but it's still creepy to think that police can say they're training or chasing a criminal and still be looking at you in your backyard.
I am not a person who will give up privacy for safety.
Not when the tool to enforce safety brings so many questions of its own. In Hurst, Dallas Barr, NBC5.
And the Texas Privacy Act restricts making recordings on private property, but Hurst police tell us they were not recording in this case. Also, in Tarrant County, Arlington, and Mansfield, police use drones as well. Fort Worth PD has one for aerial photography, but it's not used in the field.
A heads up for your driver.
Mom horrified after finding police drone watching her children in their backyard. Hurst, TX. For decades, in dystopian fictions, readers and watchers alike are very familiar with the idea of state-run drones spying on the entrapped population. Luckily, however, the scenes of drones chasing down or spying on those who dare dissent against authority have been restricted to fantasy until now. When Texas resident Bobby Sanchez walked out in her backyard last week, the last thing she thought she'd see was a drone hovering watching her kids. "Mommy, there's a drone over our roof," said her children. According to Sanchez, the drone hovered there long enough for her to take multiple photos and to call the police for help. However, when Sanchez called the Hurst Police Department to inform them a drone was spying on her children, the Hurst Police Department said it was them. "They're watching my children play in the backyard," said Sanchez. "I called the Hurst Police Department and was pretty surprised to hear that it was them." According to NBC-DFW, Hurst Police and Fire started using drones earlier this year. They said the day they were over Sanchez's yard was a training exercise. The department claimed that the day they were over Sanchez's yard, they were conducting a training exercise. Training, in the land of the free, now involves police officers stripping citizens of their privacy and creepily watching their kids. Dystopian, indeed. After being caught spying on children, the department now promises that they will tighten down on when and where the drones will be deployed. "We will not be doing any type of training exercises over houses and things like that," said Hurst Police Assistant Chief Steve Niekamp. Read more. This cop is now YouTube famous after losing it and violently arresting innocent man for filming. According to Niekamp, the department's drones will now only launch of crime scenes, accident scenes, to find a suspect, an active shooter, or a missing person. The fire department may also use them to strategize on fighting fires. "We're working for our citizens. If they have concerns, then we definitely need to address it," said Niekamp in an obvious understatement. When Sanchez neighbors got news of the drone, they were outraged, naturally. It might be legal, but it's still creepy to think that police can be saying that they're training or looking for a criminal and still be looking at you in your backyard, said neighbor Kasey Burns. Image, http://pixel.watch/QT7. Others told NBC-DFW that they feel betrayed and that their trust in police is damaged. In a truly liberty-loving tone, Sanchez stated, "I am not a person who will give up privacy for safety. The use of drones in policing is a slippery slope. While fears of active shooters and missing children will be used to justify them, if history is any indicator, these drones will ultimately be used to further deteriorate what little semblance of privacy left in America." Also, guns. As the Free Thought Project reported last week, Connecticut may be the first state in the country to allow police officers to put deadly weapons on drones. Some states have discussed equipping drones with tasers, but this is the first proposal to arm them with deadly weapons. What could possibly go wrong? The good news is, in a recent ruling, a Kentucky man has prevailed in a lawsuit he faced over shooting down a drone that entered his property. Read more: cop sexually assaults woman, then arrests her for questioning it, in front of judge. William Meredith became known as the Drone Slayer in 2015, after he used a shotgun to dismantle a drone operated by David Boggs, that he says was flying over his property in front of himself and his daughter. Meredith initially faced felony charges of endangerment and criminal mischief for shooting down the drone. The criminal charges were dismissed by Judge Rebecca Ward in Bullitt County District Court, citing recollections from witnesses who said that the drone was flying under the tree line. Ward also said that Meredith was within his rights to shoot down the drone. According to Meredith, that drone, like the police drone in Hearst, was also watching his children. However, we shouldn't rely on this case to hold up against the blue privilege associated with shooting down official police property, even if it is watching your kids in your own backyard.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too, because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheep up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Charlotte County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if some, if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave a, let's say, actually, yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But, do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it. 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, if I got, you know, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. You know, 47,000 of you so far right now. You know, $1 a day. I mean, $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.